Hi, Joe Murphy. This is a critical video that I want to talk to you about. In a previous video, I talked about goals and how they set the direction of your life because change can be scary. And right now we're going through a lot of change in around work. Okay, so we talked about this yesterday. If you didn't see yesterday's video, I would recommend watching it, but here's a brief synopsis of it. Change is going to happen in our lives. We have a straight line and it doesn't go on forever. What happens typically is most change that we don't bring about can be very scary, and it feels like if we're not in control of the change, it's down here and it's negative. However, with goals, change that you bring about is positive and aimed in a direction of your choosing, because you, with goals, you are in control of change. This is you, you're in control of it, and you're not in control of it down here. Now, we talked about yesterday, or I talked about this idea of getting in the top 5% of your field. And the top 5% of people are in always high demand. Now, I'm going to give you a couple of ideas. I'm going to start off with this one concept, and I'll go into it a little bit deeper on another video. But this idea of change and control and setting goals and becoming in the top 5% are all interwoven. Now, if you want to be in the top 5% of your field, you have to be really good at your job. But let's step back and look at this idea of what I call the areas of excellence. Areas of excellence means, and it's another word for competencies, but it's also different in the sense that you are excellent in certain areas of life. So the way we see competencies or areas of excellence, let me fix that, is that in some ways we might be good in math, we might be poor in English, we might be great in selling, we might be poor in accounting, we might be great in persuasion, we might be poor in management, we might be great in leadership. So we have highs and lows. And what typically happens is people try to fix their weaknesses, and they say, I got to bring my weaknesses up here. And they work on these weaknesses. Now, I'm going to tell you that's a big mistake. Now, you may disagree with me, but don't disagree too long, because here's why you should. Pay attention to where your highs. Where you're good, you want to make these even higher. Where you're good, you want to make these even higher. You may want to work on some of your weaknesses and bring them to average so they don't impact you. But you have to decide which ones are holding you back, and that's the key part. Identify your weaknesses that are holding you back. And where you're good, make sure that the area of excellence, and these are your areas of excellence, are in or a market demand, a part of a market demand. Okay? If you're really good at riding horses and there's not a lot of demand for horseback riders, you're not going to have a high level of market demand. But if you become excellent in your field at selling, and then you get specific selling consultative services, and you start developing a reputation and becoming in the top 5% of your field, you're basically going to be recruited by a lot of headhunters so that you come over to their job. Those of you who are in the top 5% of your field know what I mean, because you're recognized as becoming an excellent salesperson or excellent selling consulting services. Okay? If that makes sense. Now, if you're excellent selling consulting services, and this is time management, and you're not good at time management, you're going to want to bring this up, because I think in terms of becoming an excellent consultant, selling consulting services, you want to manage your times your time really well, because you want to make sure your time's divided amongst more qualified prospects. But I'm getting onto another point. So you want to bring that up. But there are areas of excellence in your marketplace to where you want to hone these skills. And if you set goals to become really great in the top 5% of these areas of excellence, you will never, ever be unemployed again. Does that make sense? It should make sense. And I want to talk to you about what you need to do in order to move yourself up into the upper ranges of the area of excellence in another video. Thanks for watching.